pile drive on Achieves.
They said it's going to be a short night. Interesting. Achieves thinks that Northwood is just going to end up winning their 5th CRL championship. Can Boise State stop the dynasty from winning yet another? Let's get into the grand finals.
Number 1 of the East in Northwood versus the number 1 of the West in Boise, but only one can be a champion. It's a rematch from that upper final. Boise want to rewrite the ending to their story. They want to change history and take that destined crown from Northwood.
We have seen this one before, and it was not in Boise State's favor. This time, they come in after a hard-fought match against Ball State. And now an opportunity to dethrone the Kings of Northwood in CRL.
Talked earlier about the hard work that Boise does to just prepare the same amount for each team, to have the equal respect, whether it's an undefeated team or a winless team. Boise know they have the toughest challenge ahead of them. But man, did Boise just step up day after day. They were lights out in that last match. Quick shot there from Preston. It's off the cross. Thank goodness there for Northwood. Now Zanil wants to give him a taste of revenge.
You talked about it earlier in the day, Lemon, but Northwood can come out a little slow at the beginning of series. It doesn't mean that they necessarily lose the first game, but they do come out slow. They might give up a few goals, and I think you really got to look towards Durtho on the Boise State side. If you want to get a guy, if you want your team to get going, Durtho is your guy. Scoring first in a lot of these games, being that guy to open up a defense, high-flying offensive individual power that he brings has been so crucial to Boise State's success. Look for him to lead the charge early on in this series.
Regardless of what... Oh, wait, watch what Zanil's doing. Hold up. Zanil just carries this one in. Boise couldn't stop the pain train, but it got to its destination.
And Durtho, he had a lot to think about. He had Hockey chasing him in the net, and Zanil threatening the air dribble. He had to dodge the demo and then get the challenge. Did one, but not the other. And an easy goal in the end for Zanil as he walks in his first for Northwood.
And Zanil, that new addition. Oh, what a pinch down there from Lion Blaze. I'm trying to hype y'all up. Can you stop playing Rocket League for a second?
But they're supposed to be doing that.
Zanil, yes, such a talented, also young player. And wow, how did that get cut? How did that get saved? Preston has to do work on that back end to make sure that no more goals go in for Northwood. Zanil, though, answered the question that we all had. Was he going to be an addition? Was he going to be an upgrade? Were Northwood still going to win with him on the roster? And with them being in the grand final, yeah, Zanil has helped this roster so much.
And Zanil's already had plenty of opportunities. He's got a goal on his 3 shots. He had one on halfway on the goal line since his goal. And you got to give some credit to Boise State. 4 saves already, 2 for Durtho, 2 for Preston. But you don't want to spend too much time playing defense. Not going to get your offense going, and again, you're looking towards Durtho there, trying to push it down into the corner, can't get through the defense, and again, Northwood breaking out.
It's a free ball. Durtho pushing it forward, trying to dangle this past Hockey. He was just backing that thing up, but Lion Blaze has his back too. We find ourselves in another Northwood offense. With Preston, good control on the back wall, dodges the Northwood push. Here's Zanil popping this to the side. Durtho with the shot up high. Forces a save out of 2 members from Northwood. And what a shot there from Preston. Durtho wants the rebound. He wants another opportunity at it. But Woozy is going for bumps, so it's up to Preston to step up, and he does. He swings at 2 of their Northwood who are removed, giving the ball back to... Oh, Boise, you missed the double tap, but the janitor's on duty, and Durtho finds the equalizer.
And what a high-flying attack coming out from Boise State. The double tap from Preston almost dropping in, but Durtho there to clean things up. And finally, Boise State breaking through after a flurry of shots. They equalize game 1.
That was after Boise had to double demo just to get the ball back, and as Northwood are respawning, they find themselves with their back against the wall, and Boise's offense, when it has space, when it has time to work, Boise can execute like some of the best, and you're gonna have to play like the best if you want to beat the best, because you're looking at just back-to-back champions of Northwood, who obviously want to make up also for the slight deficit they had at the World Championship, not even making the grand final. It was Fisher that got the furthest, and here's Durtho almost scooping this in. How And Daniil saved this right at the goal line. Or Northwood able to get out. Daniil well assured of that.
There's been so many challengers to the crown against Northwood. Columbia has a few times, Bay State College has, Akron. They've all made it to a grand final and a national championship, but they haven't been able to break through. Northwood has held that title so many times. Boise State, the newcomer, at least in this position, now testing their luck against Northwood, and they find themselves late in game one tied up, threatening again. Woozy trying to push this one through, but again, Northwood slowing things down in the corner. Lion Blaze on the clear.
Boise just are out for blood. They're demoing so much because they know for structure, Northwood just have more experience together and they know how to get it done. Northwood are in the lead again.
Lion Blaze cleaning this one up. It was all hockey, working the corner, and Preston's touch just a little bit too far out in front. Lion Blaze will jump all over it, and late in game one, Northwood takes the lead.
I like the physicality that Boise's bringing out to just try and disorganize Northwood, but hey, Lion Blaze has something to say about that. 3-on-2 in favor of Northwood. Just getting this to the orange end, but with this ball hitting the ceiling, it drops down at the feet of Boise, who are going in for a pass to third though, and it's intercepted by Daniil. Back down to the orange half. That's a lot of real estate that Boise would have to make up for, and it ends now. Game one for Northwood.
And Northwood not really starting slow, as we mentioned earlier. It was not the slow start that maybe you would expect. Again, we've seen this matchup already in the upper bracket final where Boise State came out swinging in game one, but they ultimately dropped it. Here in game two, Northwood, I think, came out exactly how you expect them. 10 shots on the board. Boise State backed up, having to make some tough saves. And again, some credit to Durtho and Preston making some crazy saves early in game one to keep it tight. But that offense just took, I think, a little bit too long for Boise State to ramp up.
I don't know how much homework Northwood are doing, but if I'm watching tape about Boise, I worry about Durtho, how he's being set up, and the Daniil interception at the end is what locked in that win for Northwood, because I was smelling that tying goal from Boise. It was almost there. But out of this entire bracket, only one team has been able to even take a game from Northwood, and that's Boise. Although, there's not... Northwood didn't have to play as many matches, but Boise, what have they learned from that previous experience?
Yeah, and I think that's something, when we talked about the impact that Waiton has, I'm sure he was breaking things down for his team, especially, coming into the matchup, talking about it because they had just seen it. So they certainly had a lot to talk about. But you can see, in the background there, Waiton sitting, elbows on his knees, locked in for his team, making sure everything is getting squared away for game two as we jump off. Durtho instantly attacking the backboard.
Yeah, Durtho has been good off of kickoffs to strike early, to start with a lead. Get a sense of confidence there from Boise, and it must be tough to have any sense of confidence when you're going up against the best roster that CRL will ever have in Northwood. And the only question mark you would ever have, any doubts that you could set against them, was how Daniil was going to integrate, and he's been fantastic, and double tap didn't work there, and rebound almost found by Northwood as they have to slow this play down, and at least they get this ball to the corner as Preston did disconnect, so we'll have a tech pause here.
Uh-oh. Get that man back. Get that man back in there. We need him. We need him to play. We'll figure out what happened there and we'll get it squared away. But, so far, kind of uneventful here in game two. First 40 seconds. Not too much to talk about, but I think overall for Boise State, a lot of their attack is going to have to drive through Durtho. We've talked about that, but we've already seen Preston as well, showing some individual skill in game one. If they can get him going and kind of get a dual threat from Boise State, I think that attack's going to start converting at a higher percentage, and that's what they're going to need, because Northwood's not going to give you a lot of opportunities. We know that. They've shut down a lot of good teams. They do not give you chances. So if there is a chance, you have to convert it. It's black and white here for Boise State. You have to put away the opportunities that are in front of you.
And you gotta expect the unexpected from Northwood. They'll take that crazy cut shot from the corner. They'll fly to the ceiling to dunk from above. Like, you have to be on your toes when it comes to defending against Northwood. They are just one of the deadliest offenses, not only in their conference, but in the entirety of North America. And Boise just keeping this within one. They're within striking distance. They even almost found the equalizer. Tells me that this series is going to be different than that upper final. Is it going to be a different winner? I need more games to really feel that out. Yeah,
you're going to need more games. We talked about, the history of Northwood. I mean, you have to go all the way back to like the spring 2021 national championship to even see them slip up and not make a grand final. That's how long they've been at the top. That was when they still finished top 4. And even the semester before that, they had one. So, I mean, Northwood, and that was even without Lion Blaze. We're not even talking about the Lion Blaze era at this point. We're talking about Buddy, Pirates, and Noxus. So Northwood, even with some roster changes here and there, has always been at the top. They've quite literally been the final boss here in CRL, at least on the North American side. And we've seen so many teams, even great teams like Boise State, come up, have almost perfect or perfect records and still fall. It's unique that we get this matchup so many times, at least twice here this season and in this semester. Two teams that were essentially undefeated until they played each other. That's exciting for CRL. And it does show that the West, are starting to produce teams. Not that they haven't. Columbia had been that team before, but starting to produce teams that can go 15-0, 16-0 if you count the playoff brackets and contend against top teams like Northwood from the East.
Yeah, what's been a constant is Northwood in the final. What's not been consistent is who meets them there. And it's amazing to see the growth that Boise as a school, as a team has had over the past year, where now they're consistently making playoffs. A year ago, you weren't even predicting Boise to be in this top 5 area, let alone even make a grand final. So it's incredible the work that Wayne and Doc Haskell have done for Boise to elevate them to this moment. But looking at hockey, he has a very unique joy in beating teams. He's either ripping their jerseys, buying them and having them as doormats. I don't know what hockey has in store if he beats Boise.
It's true. He's putting on crowns as well. I mean, he's very involved. He knows who he is playing, and he likes to poke a bit of fun at them when he beats them. And hey, when you're the top dog, when you're winning as much as they are, you can go and do that.
All right, after a couple of test lobbies, looks like we're good to go for game 2. Glad to see Preston is back. Hopefully for good. He's going to be really tested here on this defense. Lion Blaze up and above. Zanil taking boost. But Woozie's making space here in the midfield with the follow-up touch. That gets real close to that left post. Preston misses that pass to his fellow teammate. Boise sure are harassing this. Put the tip towards the net. Hockey is him.
And you feel like Northwood just playing a bit faster. Both Hockey and Zanil getting up for this one, and everyone racing back on the Boise State side, but just couldn't get back in time. That pace behind the ball from Hockey gives Northwood their lead.
That's what I said. You gotta watch what Northwood are doing at all times. Their mechanics are some of the best. And Dirtho slaps that ball down from up and above and even gets the second touch. Centers out almost towards the net. Preston takes a shot. Saved by Zanil. Dirtho just tried to get a hand up, but it's so soft, so Northwood will be able to get a solid clear from this.
And that's the second or third goal line save from Zanil for Northwood. And now Preston, last man back, trying to make a save off the crossbar. All of Northwood was in the box, and it took Zanil, the last man, to put it home.
Northwood are giggling and kicking their feet right now, making Preston do flips, jump through the hoop. He's just getting overwhelmed in the net there, and once Northwood have you in that position, you're only gonna drown. 2-0 for Northwood, and it's not an insurmountable lead. But Boise have been playing on fire ever since their rise through this bracket. Now it's Dirtho leading that charge, the demo into Hockey. It's an advantage there for Boise. This comes out to Preston, but had a lot more power than he was expecting, and Boise lose that offense.
And Boise got to be careful here, especially defensively. They've left Preston in a tough spot a couple times, and just feels like there's no help, even if he's bought a little bit of time. Still no one able to get back quickly enough to bail him out of a tough situation. Ooh. Now Boise State trying to find some offense, but all of Northwood there, and they'll throw it downfield.
Daniil has saved everything that comes his way and almost got the touch to get the third goal in. Woozy forced to make another save and doesn't have enough boost to reach up to this. Lion Blaze, how does he even get there? Northwood are unstoppable.
And I don't know how Lion Blaze even found this shot. That's a great touch from Zanil to set him up, but Preston's right in his face, and still Preston just didn't come up with a touch. Lion Blaze doing everything he can to put it on target, and game two starting to get ugly. Northwood running away now.
In the Boise room, the lights are out, jacket is off for Doc, and everyone is locked in and focused. This is the most important match for Boise in their entire history, as Durtho won't have that open shot. Good awareness from the defense of Northwood. As Zanil, good pass from Woozy, saw the approach of Zanil and Lion Blaze trying to slow down the play, and even sends it to the midfield. Durtho and Hockey were kind of locked up, and Zanil's trying to dribble this past the defense. He's having a hard time. Lion Blaze free back wall there, and this pops over to Hockey, who can still vie for control. This maybe goes to Zanil, and no, intercepted there by Woozy.
I mean, for Northwood, everything working right now offensively. When you talk about just setting each other up, putting the ball in awkward situations, Boise State just forced to clear it downfield. This is a decent attempt, and a follow-up shot is there. Lion Blaze has to make a goal line save, and a good look for Boise State, but still Northwood bending but not breaking on that counter.
Yeah, I like that Boise are playing the sides of the field to give the illusion that Northwood have more space than they do, and they're quick to slow down the play. But with demos, Lion Blaze doesn't care if his teammate is missing. He goes for the shot. Zanil fights for possession. With that touch from Preston, it forces Hockey all the way back to his net, and that scramble in front of the net can be dangerous. But Boise's just narrowly coming out on top, but the ball not shot towards the target. Now they have to press against Zanil, Durtho, and Preston added to the equation from side to side. Each part of the net found, but not the back of it. As Boise need that first goal bad, but with seconds draining by, I don't know if it even matters, but maybe for Preston it does. It'll help keep the morale up.
An opportunity here with 38 seconds left. Boise State, again, we've been mentioning it all game long. They've been knocking on the door on a few of these opportunities, and they finally break through. And with 38 seconds left, it's not a lot of time. It's not a lot of time to get back into it. You need, if you don't get the kickoff goal here, you need one quickly after you score your next, and you certainly need to score with time left on the clock. And Durtho's there. Now it's 6 seconds. It's entirely possible for the comeback.
That Woozy 50 here, or maybe even just one, beat him to the ball. That set up Durtho, and the way that Durtho reads where this is going, the trust that he has in his teammate keeps Boise still in the game with 32 seconds left. From an 0-3 deficit to a possible comeback. Preston is gone, but Woozy has the ball. He's buying time. Flip reset over to Durtho, intercepted there by Northwood. As Woozy goes in, but zero boost. He's removed from the picture. As Zanil has enough boost, at least put this to the side. Now Northwood want that insurance, or at least want to waste Boise's time. But Woozy bumps Lion Blaze out of the way, but he's got more than one king to handle. Lion Blaze with a long clear over to Zanil, and that's all she wrote. Northwood take game 2.
Good attempt from Boise State on the comeback, but Northwood even better to close that one out. As soon as it felt tight, Northwood locked it down and played a lot safer in that kickoff after they gave up the second goal. And that's what gave Northwood the win here in game 2. And Northwood again, just edging out the competition this time on the scoreline. But I think the majority of game 2, you felt like Northwood was in control.
And Boise are trying to shake up that control. They're going for more demos than we know Boise for doing. And like I mentioned in game 1, when Northwood are just hogs in a machine, they are just walking machines on the field. Boise are trying to dismantle that. bolt by bolt if they have to. And the demos have been valuable. They've sometimes caught Northwood on the back foot by doing so. And to just take the space, even if you're not scoring from it, just to reset the stakes, to reset the play. Those demos have been valuable for Boise.
And speaking of stakes, you know, we're inching closer and closer to what is match point. Obviously, Northwood up 2-0 here in this series so far. I start to think about Boise State and some of the matches that they played last season at Worlds in particular, when they couldn't get out of groups. They played those European teams close. Amsterdam in 5 games. And you talk about like a set you as well, playing close. So for Boise State, going to 5, they're used to going distance in these series, in these high pressure situations. Can they come back in this series against Northwood?
Oh, Hockey's gonna make sure they can. He's sailing away. And Lion Blaze looks like the star at the end, finding the rebound. A quick lead for Northwood.
And that is a disaster start. If you're Boise State, you can't allow Northwood to score in the first 8 seconds. Now you're already on the back foot.
You don't think fast enough, Northwood are just gonna get you. They're always in the perfect place at the right time. Hockey to Lion Blaze, maybe? No, Hockey saw the challenge, tucked it to the corner instead. Would love to go for a round 2, but Preston's just all over him. Now an offense for Boise. Durtho misses that touch, gives possession to Lion Blaze. Dangles past all the defenders to the back wall. Zanil has to step up, lobbing it towards Durtho. The defense of Boise had time to get back, to get set up, but it doesn't matter. Hockey still scores.
And it feels like this one getting out of hand for Boise State defensively, throwing bodies at the ball, and Northwood slow playing it all the way home. Hockey so smart behind that touch to bait in defenders, and he walks it in. A quick 2-0 lead for Northwood.
In the first minute, too, like Northwood, they're just getting started. They're done playing with their food. Oh, Lion Blaze with the reset, but I like that Boise are stacked. They're trying to back each other up, but Northwood, they just choke you out.
And even here, I mean, Boise State even almost gets a touch there. Woozy got a little piece of it, but it was not enough to change the trajectory, and Zanil putting it away. Northwood, even in the trenches, finding the back post. God. And in the first minute now, you're looking at a 3-0 lead for Northwood.
Yeah, I looked at the cameras. Yeah, I saw Hockey put on his little crown.
Not the crown.
Right
Oh, no.
It went away. Oh, Northwood are getting confident. But Zanil's dead in the water. Lion Blaze with the dribble at Preston reads. It's an early flick, and Boise feel like they're in control. They're trying to carve through that right side. That missed touch from Durtho is going to cost. Woozy tries to cut off 2 near the post. This stops Northwood from scoring. Here's a quick counterattack from Boise. Woozy didn't go for the touch. Zanil beats him to the punch. And now with Lion Blaze going for bumps, it's Northwood that will make the space if they have to.
Northwood commanding in game 3. Boise State need to find an answer, and they've got to get that offense going. Feels like they've just been a little scatterbrained coming out defensively. It doesn't feel like they have the same cohesion as even maybe they had early on in game 1. Here's the clamp down from Durtho, but he can't get it. Woozy trying to keep it in play, but everyone's committed, so there's not going to be follow-up. Durtho again trying to break through, but the instant challenge from Hockey. Demo comes out from Zanil, and on the shot, it's turned away by Lion Blaze, and here comes Northwood, dropping it down to Hockey. Fakes coming out, and Northwood rejected.
If Northwood are in the net, there's just no scoring against them, and maybe a chance here. Preston gives
there it is.
Lion Blaze a hit, and Boise hit the back of the net.
Well, the good news for Boise State is the last time they did this, there was 38 seconds left on the clock. Now you got 2 minutes and 37 seconds. You have an opportunity and a little bit more time as we approach halftime in game 3. Boise State now starting the clock on the comeback once again.
Valuable demos again to just clear up the front of the net. I said if Northwood are in the net, you might not be able to score on them unless you just shove them right into it or demo them. Boise know they gotta fight fire with fire, because Northwood have been a fire that has not been doused in a long time. Preston, beautiful setup for Woozy on top of the defenders. Boise are clawing their way back.
Great trust from Woozy on that one. Preston just throwing it into the box, and even with the hockey touch, Woozy committing was so crucial to just give that one a chance to go in. If he doesn't get the touch, he's still going to connect, so you might as well go, and you get yourselves within one.
It's a deficit that Boise have been in before. In game 1, they started off 0-2 and got within striking distance. Now, once again, they're in that position, but can they stop Northwood from going to match point? It seems like Northwood destiny for them to have the crown. And Hockey from up high, Woozy reads it, gets a touch on it as Hockey might have, didn't even get the corner boost, but it's just a distraction for Lion Blaze to take the shot. Woozy's trying to escort this down the field as Daniil babysits the ball against Durtho and others piling on top of Northwood to take the ball away. It's difficult.
Good chance here for Boise State. That one lobbed just high. Woozy doing a lot of work to keep that one in play. Woozy again not connected, but here comes Durtho. Some boots to work with and slams it against the wall. Durtho not going to get back up, and you really felt like Boise State had to keep Durtho involved because here comes Northwood back the other way on a counterattack, and they double up their lead.
What a redirect to Lion Blaze to Hockey. Only Northwood can pull something like this off. When Boise were all committed, they believed that they could find that equalizer, but it's Northwood from one side of the coast to the other. They give themselves a 2-goal lead, minute and 8 seconds left. It's not impossible. Durtho is just gonna disengage from that as Woozy tries to slow down Northwood as Boise's backline gets ready for defense, but it's Preston that surges forward, pinches it off to Durtho, who just piled onto the wall instead of trying to accept the pass, and they may have to accept getting scored on. Northwood are knocking at the door again, but a couple of missed touches. Hockey steps up. Northwood on the offense again.
And Northwood's fine with just throwing this one into Boise State. It's really on Boise State to break out and find each other. Woozy goes high. Lion Blaze doesn't find the touch. This one has to go in, and it does. 32 seconds left in Boise State. Once again, sticking around to make this one interesting.
Durtho using the reset off the ceiling just to get a more powerful pass going. You gotta play fast when you're going up against Northwood. 32 seconds left, and Northwood are only up by 1. And that's been sort of the trend, that Northwood only have small leads against Boise. Remain in their shadow, but for how long? Preston to Woozy. Hockey forced to make the save, but he doesn't look too stressed. Not with Lion Blaze by his side, who puts himself in that orange half. Boise have to cross all the way down. Preston's doing a good job of moving this ball down. Woozy with the dribble, the reset. Lion Blaze gets a touch, and Hockey puts it on the ground. Northwood on match point.
And again, Boise State so close to making the comeback happen. And now, I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat, Lemon. I don't know if you see that as well, but Northwood is going to be taking a timeout.
They did that last time too when they were up in the series. Hockey does that so he knows he gets on camera to put his crown on. It's like the mental games that Hockey plays, and the silly smile that he has when he does it. I knew that crown was coming back. He took it off when Boise started scoring, and he's like, I see.
So, I mean, in my estimation, not a ton for Northwood to think about. I mean, you're 3 games straight. It's been decently comfortable. There's been a couple moments where you've had to really lean forward in your chair, but for the most part, Northwood doing what they've always done. I mean, regardless, we were going to get a timeout here. It didn't matter. Boise State, I think we're going to call a timeout if Northwood didn't. So, Boise State also
Yeah, what the robot said. We just, Hockey heard him talk too much, took him out, but you see that the timeout, we've never had a BM timeout in CRL, but You love to see it. Maybe Northwood, someone from Northwood needs to tell Hockey to calm down. Focus on getting the sweep that you think you can get. And Boise, despite being down 0-2, 0-3, they play like it's a 0-0 game at all times, and you really got to appreciate that out of Boise, the mental composure that they have, because they've always been able to put themselves within one until, you know, they're so far forward, they're so involved and committed that Northwood get these like cross-field shots like that. Northwood have always been able to keep that lead no matter what. I'll wait to get Corelli back. You guys are stuck with me. I'm stuck with this Northwood timeout as Hockey still has his crown, and I'm sure the vibes are immaculate when you're on the Northwood squad. You haven't known defeat since, what, the World Championship? And to even see Fisher fall early after such a successful run there is crazy. This has been a crazy bracket, and Northwood have been one of the most successful schools at splitting their rosters into 2 teams and have them both still be at the top or relatively near the top. You think about your Columbias, your Akrons, and others, and you love to see, I know it's like controversial of whether schools should be allowed to have 2 teams, whatever. I think it's amazing that there are more opportunities for players to step up. And that's where I look at the players on Boise who are making names for themselves. I'm in the green room with the guys, and all I'm hearing is, when are we signing Durtho? Not we, but when is he getting signed? If I had dollars to give, I'd give them all to Durtho. Mechanically, he's been crazy. And Corelli, is your crazy internet back?
Am I back? Am I good?
Yeah.
Am I alive? Okay, good. I had to go take a timeout. I had to go.
Your timeout.
I had to go smack my router real quick. But we're back, and I agree with everything you said. I didn't hear what you said, but I agree with everything. No, but I did hear what you said at the end. I came back in your last point there. It's true. I mean, Durtho, he has played so well throughout, I think, the entirety of his CRL career, and he'll have to play great against Northwood in what could be a final game in this series and a final match here in the fall semester.
Boise are turning the pages, they're turning their heads around, because look who's already scoring. It's Lion Blaze, of course.
And this is exactly how it started last time, too. He's just slicing and dicing. He's going past everyone and up and over the head of Woozy. You can't let this man in for free, and I suppose he wasn't let in for free. He still broke the door down, and by himself, putting away his first shot, 1-0 in the first 15 seconds.
What you can appreciate out of Northwood, too, is that they'll still peak on you. Like, they don't stop scoring, and they'll still play their hearts out no matter who's on the other side of the pitch. They'll have fun with it, and maybe that's the part that gets to you, but I think it's great that Northwood are just playing at their best to be a respectable opponent no matter what. Here comes Zanil from up high, and the double tap is so disgusting. Oh my god.
That was gross from Zanil. The handoff from Lion Blaze, and then up and over on top of your head, Durtho. Zanil putting on a show, clip it and ship it.
Whew, yeah, getting clipped on isn't a great feeling, but what is a great feeling is the friends you made along the way. It's just getting this far sometimes, but it's a deficit that Boise have been in before. As Preston wanted to set up Woozy there, went for the demo, didn't receive the pass, and when you give an inch, North would take a mile. And Lion Blaze, easy pop-up from the corner. Hockey was busy just harassing Boise, of course, so no one got the pass cleanly. Lion Blaze goes for round 2. No one's gonna stop him from crossing from left to right. Ah, jeez. Well, Northwood don't score from it anyway.
And Boise State, they have to get it together here. You feel like if Northwood builds a 3-goal lead, they haven't been able to overcome that at this point. Here comes Lion Blaze again. Look out, Preston coming up with the clear for now, but Northwood still threatening Zanil. Can't break through. Boise State have to get that offense going. They've got to do it now. Otherwise, you know Northwood's going to be able to put away more and more goals.
Preston losing the ball, but Durtho's helping him out. All of Boise will hold hands if they have to take this ball out of the hands of Northwood, because you know the magic that they can do. It goes to the back wall. Boise misses it. And and Lion Blaze will punish. Of course he will. 3-0 for Northwood.
And Lion Blaze had a front row seat to this all, just waited for the defensive touch. It comes right back out to him at the top of the box. Woozy did his best to stop the first, but couldn't get the second. And now this is the danger zone for Boise State. Once again down 3 goals. Can they make the comeback they haven't been able to do in the previous games?
Will it be the past repeating itself? Will this dynasty be living on? Northwood haven't been dethroned, and the only team to make them sweat has been Boise. Zanil over to Hockey. Hockey, I think, wanted to go for the demo there. Barely misses Woozy. As Lion Blaze pops it up, Preston's a sitting duck. Zanil cuts it, but it's off the cross. And Boise are just barely above water.
Here comes Dirt, though. A little flick to the far post, and good attempt from Boise State. Still time on the clock. Woozy far. Dirt, though, trying to keep it in front of the net. The dunk was there, and Lion Blaze gets out of a sticky situation. Boise State were trying to crash down.
Oh, Dirtho stops this ball from crossing, but the awareness, the rotations, Northwood will not be caught off guard. Even Hockey went for a demo, and what a banger from Dirtho. Close save from Lion Blaze. This is a far enough clear, and Woozy's just trying to slow it down, but he's lost in the sauce, and Zanil's on top, and Lion Blaze takes the shot, and Boise are removed. Who's in the net? Just barely Dirtho at the last second to stop the 4th goal from Northwood.
And he needs boost. He won't get the mid boost, but he's immediately demoed. Boise State trying to pick up the pace. Woozy and Preston both going, but not coming up with a shot. In a minute 30 left on the clock, Dirtho having to make defensive saves. You would love to say that he's making some offensive attacks. Boise State and Woozy flip reset towards the net, but it's not enough. Denied again, and here comes Zanil back the other way. The bump to push Dirtho out, and a 4-0 lead for Northwood.
The ball just already had momentum. Zanil's just faster than Preston, and Dirtho had a good attempt at stopping it, but with the power, the speed that Zanil already had, well, Boise just stuffed. It's a 4-0 lead with a minute 14. Boise have to end this series with their heads held high, and at least getting one on the board is a good start.
Getting one on the board is absolutely a start, and I just want to say, there might have been a reason why that one went in. Hockey has 52 points. For the majority of this game, he has been just chasing Boise State players around. He's not playing the game. He's just chasing players. He's not going back on defense. He's not playing offense. He's just chasing players around the field,
being annoying,
being annoying, and putting his team at a disadvantage at times, but still Lion Blaze and Zanil good enough to hold the line, and here he is again just chasing and demoing everyone.
Yeah, that's tough to deal with that, and I think you just gotta stay focused if you're Boise. Sometimes you don't need 3 people to score, you just need 1 with the ball. And I think Boise have the potential to pull off those solo mechanics, but Zanil had to get demoed. A good heads-up play from Boise to stop Zanil from running away with it again. And the challenge won there by Zanil forces Preston to rotate back 22 seconds, as it's just taking so much effort for Boise to go downfield. As the hard work that Boise have done all falls to this, a sweep in favor of Northwood. It's been so incredible to watch this dynasty take championship after championship. The best players in North America, you're looking at them. Northwood are your fall champions.
And did anyone have a doubt? Northwood has continually been the best team in CRL. We say it every time they're on stream. We say it in every single season, and we say it at the end of every single championship. Northwood again, CRL Fall 2023 champions, without a doubt, unequivocally, the best team in CRL.
And with just how many championships? You're gonna have to start counting them with 2 hands at this point. Hockey, where's the crown? I think you deserve it. You need to give them a real one too. I think they're at Northwood are at 5 championships if you count what Northwood Blue, Northwood White are doing. This is the most winningest roster that CRL will ever have. This is a dynasty that will only be taken down, I think, when they graduate.
Pretty much. And this is going to be, I mean, you talk about other dynasties of old, like Akron. They don't have as many championships as Northwood has now. Northwood, this is impressive from any college. And to do it here so consistently is just a testament to how great this dynasty has been in CRL, and they're going to continue doing it. I mean, there's another semester here for these guys, and another opportunity for them to win another one. Again, I say it every single time. I have to do. He's got 18 demos. I mean, it's just unreal. I mean, he wasn't even playing that game. I mean, he was just playing, Twisted Metal. I mean, he was just running around, blowing up the other team. So, Northwood didn't even have to use hockey that game.
Look what this CRL player taught me. I'm going to be running in my cage just demoing people. Apparently that wins you championships. But here are the replays of the 4-0 sweep. I think Boise ran out of gas at the end of the day. I don't know how you're supposed to adapt to 18 demos, so I won't falter Boise for that. But you still got to applaud the season that Boise had to just get to the grand final. Everyone, I know besides you, we're predicting, your Fishers, your Akrons, your whoever's. What did you get? Your perfect bracket?
I don't want to brag, but I predicted the bracket perfectly.
Oh my God.
So,
with the sweep too?
No, I didn't predict the games perfectly, but I did predict the winners perfectly.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the games down.
Yeah, so congratulations to Northwood once again. Who's going to be able to take them down? I guess we'll have to find out next season. I want to find out what the desk thinks of this final. Nates, what you think?
Another championship for the state of Michigan. The Timberwolves, the Northwood Timberwolves. They did it in dominant fashion yet again.
Beyond dominant. Bordering on disrespectful.
It definitely was. It wasn't bordering.
No,
it was definitely just disrespectful. Yeah, the fact that hockey just starts chasing people around is pretty disrespectful by me. Listen, if he can do that, that means the competition, they need to step it up. It's kind of like Cam Newton celebrating. You can't complain. Stop from scoring. If you want hockey to stop chasing you around, how about you do something about it?
Go beat the other two.
Exactly. I mean, they did it in style. I mean, Boise, they lost one. They took one game off of them in the previous series. This time, it's a complete sweep.
Yeah, perfect sweep in this one, and it's just too much to deal with. There's too many problems on the side of Northwood, and I mean that in the best way possible. It's a good problem to have when you have players this mechanical and all willing to kind of self-sacrifice in a way. Like, okay, I'm going to do this like for the betterment of the team. It doesn't really matter. I just want to get the win. And ultimately, yeah, Boise State tried. There were a few, last-minute heroic ditch efforts where it's just like, okay, hopefully we can come back, but did they even hold the lead one time? I don't think so.
I don't think they did.
Think so.
For 1 second.
I don't think they did. But that's also in part because they kept getting scored on in the first 10 seconds of every game.
It does not help. It does not help when you dig a hole early.
Yeah. Then we did the numbers earlier for RLCS. It was like vitality's like 87%. Win rate when they score first. I don't know what Northwood's win rate is when they score first, but it's got to be up there as well. So, and that's just what high-level Rocket League is nowadays. And then you go down 3-0 and you start giving Zanil even more space because you start pressing and he just starts dominating the Chiefs.
Yep, Zanil was a phenomenal pickup for a team like Northwood that was already good, and to grab somebody of that caliber is taking a crushing squad to a completely unbeatable squad, at least for the fall split. That's the perfect record. A completely unblemished run, and that's quality.
Yeah, it's quality. They're 18-0, 15-0 regular season, 3-0 in the CRL Fall 2023 playoffs. They don't know what losing looks like, and they're looking good. They're looking better than they ever have. Buddy was a great player, still is a great player. He plays on Northwood White, but he doesn't have the mechanical ability that Zanil has, and I think that's pretty evident in the fact that hockey is just now starting to chase people around. They never used to do that. They would win, and they would never just start playing 2v3, but I think they're just that confident in their ability to beat anybody.
To be fair, to be fair, when you're playing that, I mean, it's not really playing 2v3 because he's got 18 demos. So
it's
he's
hitting people.
So he's hitting people. It's 2v2 and more like it's 3v2 because he's constantly chasing those demos. So what's 18 times 3? Almost 60 seconds, a full minute of that game. Boise State was down one player. So, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's unfair, man.
It helps a lot. We were talking about it a little bit, Bates, when in the middle of that series. It's like you were getting frustrated with the demo chase because it's such an effective strategy. And we were saying, it helps when you know that Zanil or Lion Blaze has the ball.
Zanil or Lion Blaze can just carry the ball.
They're never going to drop it. They will just hold it. So they're very confident playing that way.
Exactly. And just looking at it, it's just going to be hard for anybody to beat him because even, I know we're going to talk about the 18 demos in Game 4, but what Michael was really talking about is how Northwood scores some of their goals nowadays, even in Game 1, Game 2, where Hockey just starts lead blocking. He just starts lead blocking because he just knows. You just know that he's got two studs who could just win the 1v2 or just get the ball
Any
over.
1v1. Doesn't matter.
Exactly. It doesn't matter, which is an asset that I would say 99% of CRL teams don't have. So it's going to be very interesting to see who can match his Northwood squad, because clearly at the moment nobody can. Maybe it'll take another Dr. Boomin or something.
Fisher's got to put the work in,
Yeah, Fisher has to play.
Is Lion Blaze a senior yet?
Don't think so. It's close.
Yeah, it's gotta be. I mean, if you're in CRL, it's like, when's this dude graduating?
Is he He's crushing us. Go away.
How about we ask him himself? I think we got Lion on the line for yet another championship interview. Lion, where you at, baby?
I'm here.
There he is. Look at him. Lion, I'm gonna take Subi's question. Well, one, congrats on winning yet another championship. I know it's just casual for you. I mean, this is what y'all do. I'm not. It's just formalities at this point. Subi asked a question that I'm gonna take from him. I'm gonna get Subi to ask another question. What year are you?
Junior. My third year.
There you go, Subi. There you go.
Yeah, that's got to be annoying for the rest of the field. Knowing they've got to still deal with you, you're a problem. But coming into this one, I mean, you guys were playing like you had a mission, obviously. But was there a little bit of, revenge after dropping last World Championship with so much expectation on your team? Just realizing we still have those expectations, and you don't want to feel it again.
I mean, yeah, losing Worlds is crushing. I took a long walk back to my room after that loss to Fisher, and I was just like, not letting that happen again. And we picked up Zanil. He's insane. All the credit to him. I love the guy. And we're just really good now.
Oh, you say we're really good. Now, is that you and Zanil? Because as we noticed, Game 4, 18 demos from Hockey. Whose idea was it?
Well, we were like a minute into the game, and Hockey was 0 points. And he was like, I'm going to go for a 0-point game. And we were like, all right, sure, go for it. And he just ran around, went and killed people. An Exterminator actually gives points, and we learned that into it. So
there we go.
We were just like, go run around, go demo, and me and Zin were like, we'll 2v3 real quick, no problem.
Oh,
well, I mean, yeah, he got a double Exterminator if you want to count it. So it doubled up those points. But, I was talking before you jumped in here, and they were saying like, oh, it's crazy they were playing a 2v3. But when you take into the account the amount of demos he had, nearly a minute where you guys were in a 3v2. So, I mean, you guys just had a ton of space to work with. And for a player like you and a player like Zanil, who we know are mechanical gods, in 1v1 situations, did it just make you even more comfortable and like zero stress in that Game 4?
Yeah, I mean, that Game 4, we were already up 3-0 as well. And, we called the timeout. We were feeling pretty confident about ourselves. And, we're having fun and we were enjoying ourselves. And that's honestly when we play the best as well. And is when we're having a good time and we don't really let those nerves affect us.
Well, you say you play confidently, which is good. I mean, you finish 18-0. It's a perfect fall split for you guys. And I don't need to ask you what you need to do to beat other people. I'm curious what you think people need to do to beat you guys.
Why would he tell you that? The secrets out. Come on.
He's got an entire thing between spring to change whatever he wants. But if you had to look at your own team and say, how do we beat ourselves? I'm curious if you have an idea. If you don't, that's fine. I'm just wondering, what would you do to beat your team?
I mean, the biggest thing is making us uncomfortable. And I think that can go for anybody really, but we're never really uncomfortable in our playstyle and whatnot. And we have put a lot of work in with us three to make sure we're good and ready to go, because like Summer Series, for example, we hadn't practiced yet. We hadn't gotten ready. And then coming into the season, we were like, we're going to practice. We're going to make sure we're on top of things. And then we were, and we went undefeated and won nationals. And so it's just about making us uncomfortable, which no team has been able to do yet. And you know, it's pretty broad thing to say, but that is really what it is.
Yeah, hey, Chiefs, now you ask me the same question, but I'll be Lion Blaze that isn't trying to be PR, okay? You ask me now.
Okay, Subi, how do you beat Northwood?
You don't, okay? You don't. You're not going to beat us. You got to get good, and it's never going to happen until I graduate.
True.
See, I knew it.
Oh wait, no more cues? Whoops. No, whoops. I'm sorry about that. Lion, man, I got two questions. What's the methodology behind the timeout that y'all don't need?
Oh, I mean, it's kind of a mental warfare battle, you know? It's like, we're up 3-0. We were like, we'll fight back a little bit, give a timeout. It was more Zanil's idea, though. I blame him. So, it wasn't necessarily us. I would say it was more Zanil. But it's more of a mental battle. We did drop the one game that we lost after that first timeout. So, we were kind of debating doing it again, but we ended up doing it, so.
I got one more to cook up for you. I've got to know, because the moment you stepped in, it's pretty much been perfection. Obviously, there've been a couple trips, a couple falls. But what's next? What else do you want to add to the legacy of Northwood and the legacy that you've created, that Lion Blaze has created for Northwood?
I mean, for Northwood, it's pretty simple. Just keep on winning, keep on going, and as long as I can. Especially now with Zanil on the team, I think this is the best version of us we've ever been. And I think as long as we keep putting trophies up, we'll be good. I think these next few World Championships especially will be showing up big for us. So hopefully we can just keep putting trophies in the trophy case.
You feeling confident about becoming a CRL World Champion ×2?
Oh yeah, ×3 at least.
Oh. At least. That means you get a master.
He's a junior, Bates.
Well, I mean, ×3 means you go win junior year and senior year and then come back and get the master. He said at least.
Yeah, masters is on the table for sure.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
He said he's not done. He said he's not done. Listen,
You're not rid of me yet, CRL.
Listen, I don't know how much money y'all just won off of this, but can I make one suggestion?
Yeah.
However much money y'all just won, if you got any extra bread after the scholarships get paid off, listen. Zanil, he needs a camera. Somebody needs to help him out.
I know. No, I was talking to him about it the whole time. Trust me, I was talking to him. I was like, you sure you don't got anything? I was talking to him about it on Friday. I was like, dude, let's get you something, you know? Come on.
Yeah,
and he's like, it's too much work. So I was like, okay.
He's got a
we'll
cell
get
phone.
it next time.
Well, no excuse now. No excuse now.
Yeah, no, I'm getting it next time for him. Don't worry. I'll get it
I
next
love
time.
that. I love that. Hey, bro, congratulations again. As per usual, the floor is yours. Any shout outs, anything you want to talk about?
Hey, just shout out the team. Hockey, Zanil, they're amazing. Shout out Northwood, great program. They've treated us well, given us everything we needed to thrive. And shout out to the other teams as well. It's always fun playing them. Shout out my family and whatnot, and everyone, all the fans out there supporting us. Thank you so much. And thank you guys as well for putting on a great broadcast and a great tournament, as always.
Thank you. We appreciate those words. And once again, congratulations, Lion, on yet another championship in your cabinet, and good luck in the spring, bro.
Yeah, thank you.